So there was one educator, and he was a very creative person. So what he decided was that if I start abusing Unacademy, Roman Seni in his videos, then I'm going to get a lot of attention from me, and he can gain a lot of subscribers and followers, whatever might be his reasoning was. So he used to do that left, right, and center in his videos, and he used to directly as well as indirectly in sly remarks mention a lot of times that how we are not, this is about like 3-4 years ago, how we are not going to succeed as an organization, how our model is flawed, how like hiring a lot of educators doesn't make sense, how we should go after like 3-4 educators. Roman Seni said this, now he's doing this, he left IAS, he left MBBS and whatnot. So he used to abuse me left, right, and center. He used to abuse Unacademy on his all his videos, all over the place, and he used to make sure to talk to all the educators, don't join it, and that's how it goes about. Let's fast forward it 1.5 years ago. He was sitting in my office saying that Unacademy has come a long way. I really admire what you have done, and it was kiddish on my part to do that. I was immature. I should not have done it, and I neither at that time I said anything nor at this time I said anything. I just said, okay, what do you want to do this time now? So I said that I have a good user base. I want to teach XYZ subject. I don't want to name the educator nor the subject. You can easily infer it otherwise. And then I said, okay, why don't you start? And he said, okay, you are not at all pissed about whatever I said earlier. I used to abuse you in my videos, and I've written so much against you, and I've told so many things against Unacademy. How can you do that? And you are not saying anything at all. I said, friend, it's not in my nature. I know that life is long and painful and arduous, and it is going to be a huge journey. I don't want to burn any bridges with anyone, though you did it. But you are lucky enough to get people at Unacademy who are gracious enough to give you a second chance. But the lesson through this incident is that don't burn bridges. See, I'm 28 years old right now. God willing, I'll live at least for next 30-40 years, and my more life is ahead of me than behind me. That is the case with most of you. And life is, despite the fact that world is huge, you will just realize that it's quite small at the same time. You have to look at life from both a microscope and a telescope at the same time. So you can't burn bridges. Always make sure that if you are moving on to another venture, or if you are moving out of an organization, or if you are parting ways with your partners or your friends or anyone else, do it in a very amicable way. Don't burn bridges. Try to maintain relations with them. It can be in personal front or professional front. You never know when you will need them. So this is just one of the instances that when an educator is coming back. It has happened to me multiple times. I can't tell you all the incidents which I have gone through, that people were against me or the organization, and then they come back later on. But most people in life, you will not be that fortunate. Most people in life are not that fortunate that they are going to get a second chance. And that is the honest reality I'm telling you right now. This incident is more of an exception rather than the rule. So it's my humble request that whatever you do in life, it doesn't matter, personal, professional front, your relationships, always part ways in a very amicable way. It doesn't matter who is right, who is wrong. There is always subjectivity in that. There is always their version and that version. So my simple request is just say sorry and move on. Always remember in this life, as I told you, what goes around comes around. If you do bad with someone, if you burn bridges, they are not going to be a great supporter of yours, and they will ensure that there is a feeling of revenge in people, and they will take it out on you sooner or later. If you burn bridges, it is going to bite you. Don't think that the person doesn't have power right now, or they don't have the connections or the network, or they can't harm you. It's not about that. You never know where the person will go after 5 years, but more importantly, try to be a good human, do everything in a very amicable way. And I can't over stress on this enough that it's great to be a decent human. So no matter how much uh, how much the things are bad between like you and them, try to do it in a very amicable, very professional way. I'll give you another example. One of my team member at an academy who used to work with me. So there were two examples. One of them left for higher studies to do MBA, and I even told him that hey man, you are great, and I would appreciate it once you're. I totally support you. First of all, congratulations, you cracked the exam and now you have gotten an admission in a B school. So I felt a little sad for like 10 minutes, but then I just realized that as an organization we try to do the best to our people. We don't want to hinder their progress or growth. But I just asked him to make me one promise that whenever your B school is done after 2 years, the first call you're going to give for a job is me. And in 2018, I get a call, hey Roman, I'm done with my MBA and is there opportunity for me? He meets me and after 2 days, he's working with me again. So imagine that in 2016, I was very bitter. I was very cold towards him. Hey, we just started out the company. It's just 1.5 years. We need you, blah, blah, blah. I've been training you for last 6 months. So much resources, so much of my energy, so much of my training methodology that taught you everything. And now you are finally ready to deliver on the time and the energy and the money which the organization has spent you and me personally in mentoring you to reach that level. And now this is what you're doing to me. Do you think obviously he would have left for B school anyway, but do you think he would have called me after 2 years or he would have stayed in touch all the while? Answer is a big no. So don't ever do that. The second example was one of our team member was trying to explore opportunities in their own venture. So I said, okay, go ahead. Like we support a lot of team members of an academy, ex-an academy team members. They start up on their own. I have personally invested in them as an angel along with my founders Gaurav and other founders. So we invest in them, Himesh, Gaurav, me. A lot of our time and energy goes in mentoring them, and we want them to be successful. See, ultimately, if they can build their own successful ventures, so nothing like it. So at that time also, if we say, oh, this is bad, you should not go, you should stay in the organization, we'll increase the package, blah, blah, blah. So that is again sort of like burning bridges. And one of them unfortunately could not succeed in the outside environment because like as you know, that is the harsh reality. 80 to 90% of the startups will not survive after 5 years, irrespective of at what stage you are. So then he came back to us and then we offered him another great role. So parting ways amicably, supporting the growth of your people, making sure that you are doing not just what is right for you, but for them as well, is extremely important. It is of paramount importance that you do it. It's very, very important to do it in a very amicable way. I gave you 3 examples right now. One of the educator's end, what he did with us, why he never thought about it that in future he might be working with us. That thought did not cross his mind. That is a very short-sighted, myopic vision. He needs to realize that in future he might be working with us, so it's not a good idea to pick a fight on social media. It didn't matter at the end of the day. That is not the point. Point is that don't burn bridges. A lot of these people you will see them later in life, maybe after 5 years, maybe after 10 years, maybe after 20 years, who knows. But life is too long and too arduous and it can be painful, specifically if you burn bridges with a lot of people who have some grudge against you, who wants to take like revenge with you, who will see your downfall and they'll smile. So I would not do that. Try to have amicable relations with everyone while you are working with them, while they are with you, and at the same time while they are parting ways with you. Do not burn bridges. You will never know when you will encounter those people again in the future. So in the next chapter, this is one of the most important chapter of this graphy. I'll talk about ownership. What is the meaning of the word ownership? How you need to take complete ownership both of your life, your personal life, your professional life, your job, your startup, and how to deliver in the best possible way. So stay tuned.